Oh, good evening, team. We go to episode 2 of our April 2024 cohort. Last time we looked at some few tactics. You learned on how to work with functions such as repeat, character, which is basically char, learn, though we never went into details on how you can start using those seemingly basic functions to produce very advanced or amazing things in Excel. So today will not be the class is not going to actually take more than 30 minutes. I'm quite tired. I know over the weekends that's when we'll be spending quite a lot of time together. At minimum, we'll be spending two hours. But during the week, 30 minutes, 1 hour, it's okay. So I'll give an opportunity to memory, share your work. Let me see what you did.
Okay, good evening, Coach.
Good evening, good evening.
From the work that you gave us to do, I don't know if I can try to explain. Due to power cut issues, I'm unable to have access to my laptop.
Who is able to share the screen? Umtala, are you able to share the screen?
No, unfortunately, there's no power here either.
Guys, you should have renewable alternatives in your homes. Yeah? It shouldn't be an excuse. Emmanuel, are you able to share the screen?
Let me try.
Okay.
Oh, the sharing is saying host disabled participants screen sharing.
Oh, okay. Let me just try to share.
Okay. Are you able to see it? Okay.
We can see you.
I want to see what you did.
Okay. All right. Just a moment. Okay, so this is what we did. So the total number, you told us to find the number of transactions, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the summation of this should be the total number 27 transactions in total.
Okay, let me just see the formula.
Okay, so what we did was we did hey guys, are you there? All right, so we did this.
Where
and
Yes, right here.
We did the count if tab, and then okay, yeah, sorry. And then we
opened the argument box with Control A.
All right, okay. I wanted to go direct. Very good, very good, very good. Right, good.
The blind.
Yeah. So yeah, count if, and then we open the argument box, and then we this. Okay, so sorry. When we copied this, we extended up to here, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, and then we came here, and then here. Okay, so I will not use this. Let me use the other line here, right? And then we selected this one, isn't it? Did we?
Yes.
This is what we did, huh?
Yes.
And then, okay.
But you need to anchor the range.
Oh, sorry. On top, yes. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you for a reminder. Yeah, the importance of revision. Right, okay, so count if. Yeah, and then open argument box. Then we get to copy this, and then function control F, we lock it, and then we come here, and then we select this one. Yeah. So this is what we did, and now so this, sorry, I think it should have been in line with this one, but then we put it down to give us figures. So I think these figures are because I think it has gone beyond, but I think this is what we did, isn't it? Yeah, so I think getting the summation of this is still giving us 27. So I think this is what we did, sir.
Okay. It's a very wrong operation. Okay, that's okay. Let me just take you through. Stop sharing.
Okay. All right.
Very wrong and dangerous operation.
Very.
If you have in those spaces where you don't have, if you have some dates, then it will pick certain things from there.
Okay.
So okay, so the thing that you have to do whenever you're given such a task, I know there are a number of options, functions that you can actually use. The topic that we are looking at currently obviously is on aggregation, but with a bit of some bias on, not a bit, with some bias on Sumproduct. This function is a miracle function in Excel. You can literally do a lot of things with Sumproduct, a lot. So this is how it would actually go. You have your obviously this is your Sumproduct. I'll just say SP. You open your brackets. You pick that range, which obviously you're going to lock. So the first range, that is what you pick. You have 3 sets of transactions. So you pick the first range. I'll call it range 1. I'll go like this. So in here, what are you looking at? You have your latest, you have your current date and your next date. So you say
So in
range.
this case, we pick 2nd and 7th.
I'll still go to Excel. I'm just trying to put the formula. Yes.
Okay.
So you have your range 1, which you're going to lock. Remember, you have the first date, which was 2nd. The next date is actually 14th. So you're picking that first date, which is the 2nd September. I don't know if it's September or what. And you're saying, if this range that you have picked, range 1, is greater or equal to your date here, which is date 1, you close like this. You don't lock this one, times you pick the same range, which is range 1. Now it will be less than what? The next date, which is 7th September. Also, you don't lock this. This will be your first part of the formula. You repeat the same operation for the second transaction and the third transaction, which is the last transaction. So you add plus, you continue with the second table, table 2, same thing that you do, plus again another formula, same formula, you go to table 3. So let's go to Excel, we see how we can operationalize this. The Excel here, where is it? So I'll do 3 operations, guys. So the first operation will be this. I just want to show you how it works. Sumproduct. First, let me just open Control A so that you appreciate what it does. Stands the sum of the products of corresponding ranges or arrays. It's a very beautiful function, and we'll be using it as we go forward. So you have your ranges. Those are the things that you put in there. But I prefer when I'm using some product, I prefer not opening the functional argument box. It tends to be a bit confusing, and you can actually end up making errors. So I just follow it as is without opening the functional box. So in here, we say equals Sumproduct. As long as you see it in blue here, you press your tab key. So what do we want to do? We want to pick this range here. Up to there. You lock. Shortcut of locking or anchoring is F4 key. If your laptop is a bit tricky, then you press FN F4 key. It's going to lock. So we have this range. All we're actually saying is that we should pick any transactions that are greater or equal to this array, this cell in there, or date, which is date 1. But then you should not forget, because you're going to nest, so you need to have another bracket this side. So you close this. That's the first part. So all you're doing is that you have this range here, which is actually where you're trying to pick anything greater or equal to, but then you should also, because you want to check the transactions between these two dates, which is the 2nd September and 7th September. So to complete your formula, you have to multiply like this. Open bracket. Pick the same range. Lock. Now, what you're picking here is greater than, or less than, sorry, this. So all you want are transactions that happened on 2nd, and this is why you have your greater or equal to. That equal to is responding to, it wants you to pick transactions that happened on 2nd September. Then greater, any transactions that happened on 2nd September and beyond, but limited to 7th September. So you have this. This will be your first part of your formula. It's not yet complete because we have to do the same operations. Pick the data sets from the second table, do the same, pick also have the outputs from the third table. So I'll have something like this, do not worry. I'll demonstrate, I'll go to the second one and show you how you can actually put them together. I don't want to confuse you, so I'm going
pick up the lesson from there.
like this.
You need to write it. Most of them open it.
Sir,
Something you need to get this.
Mr.
Like
Chunga,
everybody's stuff.
mute, or leave.
Apologies.
So guys, when you are looking at, you know, Excel has a lot of functions, over 450 functions. These functions, they have their own specific beauty. Each function, literally almost everything that you dream of doing in Excel, you can do it. And that's what actually makes financial modeling more exciting. That's what makes data analysis or manipulation also more interesting. If you're dealing with dashboard or visualization, you can do a lot of amazing things. And along the way, I'll be showing you how you can come up with these charts, not those charts I see. So if you start, for example, with what I've done here, you just want to appreciate the formula. There is a function that can give you the formula that you want to pick. So you have your formula there. This formula text. So I can pick this and be able to see that this is the formula that I have. So I'll do the same for the second table. So meaning that for the second table, we'll have this range in H, so I can change this to H. I'll leave this as is. I'll change this part to H because I'm moving just from here to there. Sorry. Then I'll do the same again. For this one, I'll pick L. I can edit this function. If you want it, Again, this is another tactic. I can do like this. I don't want to redo this thing over and over. So I can move there. This is the first part. So what have I done? I've just put, what is this? I'm not forgetting. It's inverted comma.
Sanction.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Is it an inverted comma?
What do you call that one?
An apostrophe.
Apostrophe.
Which one is an inverted comma?
If there are two.
Oh,
It's like an upside down comma.
Oh, upside down, yeah.
so you have this. So now I can pick this part. Let's see what I'm going to do. Because I don't want to waste time, I'll pick this part. I'm here, add. You can do the same. So what am I changing? I'm changing the range. So the range is going to be H here, H there. And I'll change here as well, there H, H. I'll do the same. I'm done with this part. I'm going to the last one because I don't want to waste time. I'll paste and I'll do the same. So in here, it's L. So I'll pick L. I'll edit to L. Edit there L. Edit L. Edit L. So this is what I have now. I can remove this. So if I double check the formula, I'll come here and say formula text. We normally use this function when we are reviewing the model. So we'll use a function like that. Or when I'm trying to audit or to understand the formula that was used by a particular financial modeler, I've accessed their financial model. I want to learn, I want to see how this person was actually nesting the functions to appreciate how he was doing it. Also to check probably there were bugs in his formula or errors. So I usually use this. Then I can analyze the formula nicely and see where there could be errors. Or I've come up with a spreadsheet or a financial model, and certain things don't seem to be right. And I know for sure that what I've done, there could be certain bugs because I expected results of this kind or this type of result. But the result that I've gotten is different from my expectations. I would use this function formula text just to check, to appreciate. This is as good as coming here on formulas, and I can do show formulas. Just that now it has closed there. It should have seen the formula, the same thing. So having done that, I can then copy this formula up to the last data set. So these are the results. So compare these results with what you had actually done. You see that one, the approach was flawed. Secondly, there was no logic in what you are actually doing, because all you are trying to do here is to compare this date against that date. You're trying to find out how many transactions happened within this time range or time period. That's the whole essence of this exercise that you are given. Working between dates or working with dates. Hello, are we there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we're here.
Yes, coach.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
The star is the one that is going to make you fail. That's why you don't understand these things. Huh? Okay. So any questions? Any questions? Or now that there are no questions?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
So here you can do the same thing, guys. You can sum this. So what it's going to do, if you say equals sum product, you have the price here. Okay. We do this. Okay. So let's do it. Let's do it together. You do some product. So long an array, I think it's already an array function, so you don't need to do your control SE. So lock this. Comma. Take this number, do not lock them. Because all you're actually saying that these numbers that are in here, this C and D, you should be able to multiply. Multiply C by D and add whatever you're actually, the elements or products of your multiplication must be summed. This is what you're actually doing. This is what you're doing here. Let me just go ahead. This is what you're doing, guys. All you're doing is saying equals, it's good at doing this. 4 times 18 plus, open bracket, 10 times 2 plus, open bracket, 3 times 10 plus, open bracket, 5 times 4 plus, open bracket, 7 times 9. So now imagine if you had 1,000 rows. How long would it take you to do this memory? This will take you so much time. And probably the supervisor that gave you this work, if he's as ignorant as many, you will even be given an overtime allowance for just being inefficient. I've always said that most companies ignorantly pay overtime to their employees. Ignorantly. Because the employees, they actually go the old school way, first principles of understanding things, do like what I've done here, take 3, 4, 5 hours, maybe even a week, leave home at 6 a.m., come back at 22 p.m. with a sense of achievement that you have worked so hard. You're a hard worker, and possibly the company left May because they indeed believe that you're a hard worker because you work from 6 to 22, not knowing that they have employed someone who is gifted in being competent. So I remember those days that I modeled the ZESCO budget. I think it was around 2012, somewhere there. I heavily used the Sumproduct at first because of ignorance. I never knew about these things. But later on, perfected my skill and knew which function to use for which activity, for which task. So I hope you have done this. There are many, many ways in which you can use Sumproduct. Sorry. So remember that we have locked this. We have decided to leave the months, the data within the months dynamic, so that I can highlight and go up to December. And you press Control R. Control R, what it means that you are copying to the right. Control D, it means you're copying downwards. So I'll press Control R. I just enjoy how the numbers jump. So in here, if, for example, the 4 quantities, it will actually show 16. I come
Sorry,
here,
sir,
if
what's that error that keeps coming up? The one that you just
it's a secular
yeah, something
error.
like that. Okay.
It's secular error. It's one of the I have a lot of worksheets here, so I'm speaking from here. There. Let's even see what I put there on the screen, because I had not shared.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. That's good. So if you come in there, you say 3, you have 6 here. Or it will be 3 times 10, sorry. So that is how you can use the Sumproduct. There are a number of ways in which you can use it, but these are other ways that it can actually be utilized. Any questions?
I didn't understand when you say Control D. I know Control R, it means that it brings all the figures down here. But Control D, what happens?
If
You
I
mentioned
type Elisa's name, and I don't want to waste time again, I want to type Elisa's name. Ideally, what other people do, will copy this, Control C, come here and do Control V.
Yes.
But as long as you're part of this cohort, you don't need to do that. All you do, you just go cell below where you have the text that you want to copy and press Control D. When you press Control D, it will copy whatever is on top. If it's a formula, to copy the formula. If it's hard-coded, like
okay.
in this case, you copy what is hard-coded. And you look more of a guru in these spreadsheet issues. Because the first thing that you have to do, outside these people that work with me, you have to convince your colleagues and your bosses in those offices that you are a guru. By not doing a lot of talking, because talk is cheap, by doing all these fast things like you have done there, Emmanuel, then they'll start thinking that you have a lot of tools in your toolbox as a spreadsheet mechanic. Okay, got it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions? Any questions? I'm waiting for questions. Any questions?
No questions for now.
So let's do something again interesting on some products. And there are times when we use functions such as VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, and waste a lot of time when you could just use Sumproduct. So this is another way in which you can actually use Sumproduct. Type Sumproduct, open another bracket like this, pick the range, yeah. Let me know once you're done with picking the range. Pick the range.
Then
Because so you have this range and you want to match it with this criteria. Because pick that. So you're saying this range. So you're saying I have this criteria, I have a guava. It's guava or mango. In which range can I find it? So it's a concept. It's basically the same concept with VLOOKUP. You're looking up these numbers. It's the same concept with your index match. You're trying to match. So you're picking the range equals to this criteria. So you close. Times. Then you pick the range. Now on the numbers, because this is what we want to pick. Lock and close. Let me know when you're done. Oh, I should go up to 23, guys. Sorry. There.
Okay.
You don't press enter. Are you getting a 300?
Just a minute. Closing.
Memory. What have you got found?
Hey.
I'll try it out, boss, when I get the power back. I'm using the phone.
So here, for example, you want to change to mango. Let's do that. It will give you the sum of mango, which is the 900. Plus the 70.
Sorry, coach.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry, I just have a question, sir.
Yeah, please ask. Yes.
I hope I'm audible.
Oh, it's Elisa. Yeah, you are.
So after we selected the criteria, when getting the values, I missed a step
Let me redo
after
it.
locking the cells.
So you do equal sum product. Again, open another bracket. Pick your range. Lock it. But even if I don't lock it, because I'm not making any movements going down, it's fine. But maybe it's just best practice sometimes when you're dealing with ranges, learn to lock. But there is no harm if you do not lock it. Then pick this criteria. Yes, my friend. Pick that criteria. Close.
Okay.
Times. Then pick what you want to sum. If you want, you can lock. But since we're not making any movements, you can leave it. It's okay. Then press enter. So it gives you sums. And this sum product is, like I've said, it's a miracle function. It does for you to actually sum the values. So if I type lemon here, you'll see that the numbers change. It's a very beautiful function. Okay. So let's now play with some few visualizations. I'd already put set it up. I have a scale. I have a pipe there. So let's do this, guys. Type equals, repeat. What are we repeating? So we are repeating this pipe, which is a vertical bar. You know where to find it. Log, comma. We're picking the cells, but we need to come up with a scale, which we can be able to adjust based on what we're actually going to get from whatever we are doing. I just want to surprise you. Divide by the scale here. Lock that scale. Close. Press enter. And copy it downwards. So we have created some form of visualization that does not make sense. If you want to get fired, just do this and leave it like that. Because that doesn't make sense. So if you have highlighted that, please go to home, click on home, pick a font type. Pick a font type called Playbill. Some old Windows, Excel, whatever, some of them may not have this. But if you have this font, you are very lucky. Do you have that font type? Hello?
Sorry, my Excel had closed, so I was just trying to open it. So
no, it's fine. You'll be able to see these things
sure.
on YouTube. But who is following and who is doing what I'm doing? Understand? You're very tired. It's okay. But then pick Playbill, you'll be able to follow these instructions. You can just take note. If you do not have this on your laptop, electrons will switch on because of what you have mentioned. As you guys, you don't have alternative source of power. Chair will waste a lot of time, but you can ask your question, please do.
Oh no, I just said I have it on my end.
Okay, that's very good. If you have it, that's very good. So press enter and see the visualization that you have. It's not always, guys. Oh, sorry. So you have this visualization. So it's not always that you have to go into insert charts. Always, for those that are limited with this skill set, they always want to look for things here. Sometimes you don't need to. So here I've used Playbill as a font type.
The question, can the Playbill work without using the pipe, or it's the flow process, you have to use the pipe first?
You have to use a pipe or something that is like this to give you a bar. Otherwise, you have problems. So if I don't want to use Playbill, I'm not a fan of Playbill. because it actually extends these bars. So I want something that is very impactful and very compact. I usually use stencils, a font type called Stencil. So in here again, I'll do the same thing. I'll say equals, repeat. I'll pick the bar there. Number of times, pick the cells, size it up like that. Close. Press enter. Ignore the last part here. And go to home. Use stencil. Guys, you're learning skills that you will not be able to get these skills. You're very like consider yourself to be like present. So usually like stencil because the bars are solid. So I can change this scale to say 10 so that I shorten these things. You have something like this. Maybe the visuals will not look nice. I can go 3, big and low. So I have to find the proper size, which in this case I found 5. Hello, any questions? Okay. Guys, this is the end of today's class. I've done at least about an hour or hour plus. My modeler here, she's very good at modeling.
Hello.
She's better than you, Emmanuel. Mama Thai.
Really? Yeah, it's a challenge.
Mr. Kapepe, are we able to change the colors?
This is
Or,
this is
yeah,
how you
that's-
fail exam. This is how you fail exam. If you can't,
Coach,
if you
coach.
can't know the detail, how can you understand this function? It'll be very difficult, trust me. Anyway,
Are we able to change the colors, coach?
yes, you're able to change the colors. These are font types. These are just a font type. I come here.
Okay.
I can change this color. So can do this. So this is, we have come to the finale of today's class. As usual, you have to check out. I have actually exceeded my time with you here. I think my expectation was just to do 30 minutes so that I rest a bit. I'm so tired. But I think it just became a bit interesting as we moved on because I needed to show you some of these skill sets or tactics so that next time we meet, we'll actually go direct to options and basic functions and move at the speed of China. So I'll allow memory to check out first.
Thank you, coach. Today's lesson was obviously eye-opening. the task that you gave us last time, I think we were blindly leading each other. So learning about the Sumproduct was very eye-opening, and that was my key takeaway from today. Obviously, the new presentations that have been learned are also valuable. So that's my key takeaway for the day.
Thank you, Memory. Emmanuel?
All right, the takeaway for today is that, of course, beginning with the exercise that you gave us, I have learned how to do it, and coming to the work that we are doing, I have learned the magic of using shortcuts. That is when you have got huge data to compute, you just enter the formula that we used here, and the power of R and Control R and D to do the computation of the huge data, as well as the coming up of when you're coming after the computation of the data that you of course want. Instead of going to graphs, you start, that O-length process and all that kind of stuff. You use the power of using the font. Yeah, the of course home font type, and then Playbill, and from Playbill you can as well use Stencil and change colors. How to use the repeat to compute, like you bring out bars and then you compute for you to come up with all these bars. So, well, these are shortcuts, I think, that we didn't know, and when you use them, people of course would think that you know much about these things, yet they are just simple shortcuts. So I think today really, I think I've learned a lot of things, I think, that we'll need to practice in order to get used and to look so efficient when working out some data.
Well, thank you, Emmanuel. Tonga?
Obviously, I joined late, but from what I caught of the lesson, I was really impressed at the use of Sumproduct. I was one of the incompetent people you mentioned who would have done the cell by cell multiplication, but it's been really beneficial to learn how to do work faster and be more efficient. Thank you.
Thank you. Karen?
Yes, so for me, firstly, from the exercise that you gave us, I've gotten to see the importance of knowing which formula to use, looking at the data that you've been given and what you've been asked for. I've learned that you need to be careful as you pick what formula you're going to use. Also, I would say I'm also impressed with the use of Sumproduct. I didn't know that you can use it as an alternative to XLOOKUP, so that has been a big takeaway for me. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Teresa?
I think she's dropped off the call. She's not here.
Okay, for now, guys, let's close the lecture tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And all right, good night.
Good night.
Good night.